Hello and welcome back to my studio. I'm Kara of Lady Fox Stitches. I'm a long arm quilter located in Northern Nevada. Today I have a bunch of customer quilts to show you and a few things that I've been able to finish. And I also have a project that I'm thinking about starting that I'd love to share with you. So stick around, let's get to it. The first three quilts I'm going to show you are from Arlene. This is a new customer of mine and I'd love to show you what she's been working on. The first one is this adorable baby quilt. I want to make sure I get it right side up. I think it goes like this, I think. Yep, okay, so this adorable baby quilt, this is a free pattern. Actually, let me move my chair here. This is a free pattern by Then Came June. It's called the Peanut Butter Quilt. And Arlene made it a little bit smaller than the pattern, just so that it would be a baby size. And she made it out of all these fun blue squares. The little cornerstones, so cute. And check out her backing. It's a cute little Ruby Star Society in the rainbow stars. I don't know what the name of this exactly is, but I've seen it lots of places. Super cute. Okay, let me show you the Pantograph up close. Arlene wanted it quilted densely, so that's what I did. This Pantograph is called Crisscross Applesauce. And it's just a series of parallel lines that kind of go horizontal and then vertical, horizontal again, and they just make their way across the quilt. And these, the density here, each, kind of finger, I'm going to call it a finger on the quilting, is about a ½ inch wide, maybe slightly narrower than that. It's got lots and lots of quilting on it. This cute little baby quilt. So it turned out to be, the size is 43 by 53. And I used Glide in the color white. I wanted it to be very bright on the quilt. The quilt just has this overall brightness. And there's a lot of look at this cute little fluorescent here. Fluorescent print, the bright green cornerstones. I didn't want to dull it at all, and so I put that bright white thread on it. Turned out really cute. She wanted bamboo batting. This is really, for as dense quilting as it is, it still has tons of drape. It's going to be really sturdy and it's going to wear really well, especially for a baby where it's going to need to be washed quite a few times. This is just going to turn out so lovely and be such a great gift for a baby. So that's the first one of Arlene's. She's got another one in this same pattern. So this is, again, the Peanut Butter Quilt by Then Came June, and again, it's a free pattern, and I'll make sure to link to that in the description box if you're interested in it. So here's the next baby quilt. Oh, let me turn it right side up though for you. This one we called the green one. And it's just made with tons of different scrappy greens. Cute Heather Ross in there. Some Ruby Star, all kinds of, some Tula Pink fabrics. You see that? Look at those cute little checkered cornerstones. Love it so much. A nice wide variety of greens, kind of from these bright limes, apple greens, to a little more on the blue side. And then of course, these prints that have pops of color, like the reds. There's a little blue here, little polka dots. That's probably a cave. Look at the little dogs. So cute. My goodness. And all those sashings Arlene put in on both this one and the blue one are these like low volumes in all different kinds. Really cute. And the backing on this one is the same print, the Ruby Star print, only this is just the black and white stars here. You can really see the pantograph here on the back. This is called Hopscotch Squares. It's really nice. Again, she wanted pretty dense quilting. And the squares here are about 1.25 inches, maybe a little less than that. So it's quite dense. With about just over 1/4 inch maybe between these squares. Oh, it looks so good. Bamboo batting again. So that drape is just super lovely, and again, it will wash up very nicely and will be super sturdy, and yeah, it'll wear really, really well as it gets washed and used. So really excited about that one. She has one more, and it's a similar pattern, but not the same pattern. This is also a free quilt pattern, although it comes in the form of a like video tutorial. So this is the Plaidish quilt by Kitchen Table Designs. No, Kitchen Table Quilting. Yeah, I just want to make sure I get that right. This one's a little bit larger, so this is 63 by 80. Again, these really bright, fun fabrics. Look at that. It just really works with those darker background pieces with the black. Oh, so cute. Oh my goodness. Again, there's like Ruby Star and Heather Ross fabrics, some Tula. Let me bring it in for you. It's kind of a similar pattern, right? With just like kind of these rectangles and squares sashed with cornerstones. Oh, so great. Again, we use bamboo batting. This pantograph, let me show you the backing actually first, because you'll be able to see the pantograph really well. So this backing is another Ruby Star. It's the big strawberries. Oh, so cute. It looks so good with the front. Look, check that out. Oh, I love it. Okay, so the pantograph. You can see it here. I'll bring it in. This is called Burners. It's the one that's like a stove top, kind of those electric coils on a stove. Again, she wanted dense quilting. Each stripe is about 1/2 inch, maybe tiny bit more than that maybe, but definitely like finger width on each one of those, all the way across. Oh, this one feels so nice. And it's so pretty. It's just happy, happy. The thread color on this one, I ended up using an isocord thread in a kind of a pale yellow color called Daffodil. And I did that because there's these bright, bright yellows kind of throughout. And these little pops of yellows and the lime green, and I just wanted to kind of play off of that. It looks very neutral from afar, but when you get in, let me see if I can get it to show up on camera. You can see it right there on that white one, maybe. Pale yellow. Yeah. Oh, it's so cute. I love it so much. She did such a good job. Again, this is like a free quilt tutorial, so if you want to make this quilt, check out the description box below, and I will definitely link to that tutorial for you if you would like to make one for yourself. Kitchen Table Quilting has several patterns that I have in my queue, my personal queue. It will be my personal quilting queue, though, is quite long, and so it might be a while before I get to it. But the Helen quilt, it's a kind of a scrappy stars I really want to make, and yeah, I'm hoping to do that sooner rather than later, right? Okay, great job, Arlene. The next quilt I have to share with you is from my local quilt shop, and this is a quilt made from a boxed kit. It's a Deb Strain kit for Moda, and it is called Winter Friends. So my local quilt shop is getting ready for the holidays and getting things kind of organized for that, this kind of upcoming season, and they asked me to quilt this cute quilt for them. Okay, I'm going to hold it up so you can see the middle panel. Isn't that cute little snowman? Let me see if I can bring it in for you. Okay, so this little snowman with his little cardinal friends. And that center panel is framed out, the checkered plaid. And then around it has the half square triangles, top, bottom, and sides. And then each corner has another part of the panel. Aren't those so pretty? It's a really nice Christmas line. Really cute. Let me bring in some of these triangles here so you can see the other fabrics in this line. Aren't they pretty? Winter Friends. Pine trees and snowmen, snowflakes. The white background, let's see, let me pull it up here closer to the camera for you. This fabric right here is a white on white. Can you see the snowflakes? Oh, it's really pretty. It's a lovely, lovely white on white for winter. I might have to buy some of that. I think that's really pretty. So of course I went with a snowflake theme pantograph because of the nature of this quilt, being out in the forest with your friends. And you can really see it on that white. Let me hold it real still for you this time. See. This one is called Snazzy Snowflakes, and it is a beautiful pantograph. Just kind of loops and swirls around, creating a snowflake. And then of course on the prints, the print fabrics, you can't really tell the design. It just blends in so nice. This is Glide Thread in Linen. The quilt store always provides their own batting when I quilt for them, and so I don't know exactly what kind, but I'm pretty sure it's a warm and natural. And it's really super nice. It's nice and thin. It quilts up really beautifully. They put on the back, get all the strings, always strings, right? Quilters, strings everywhere. On the back they use this kind of distressed red, and they pieced it. Let me just show you because it's kind of fun to see these piece backings. So kind of half red, half green, and then this fun little stripe at the top. But just red and green all the way down, and you can see that pantograph pretty good on the red. Oh, there's another string. The more I move it, the more come. Oh, it's a pretty, pretty snowflake. Looks really nice. Really like this. So there's that Winter Friends quilt. Really nice. I'll link to that quilt kit in the description box if you like that and want to make one of your own. I think it's super cute. A couple things that I've been able to work on for myself this week. The first one I'll show you is my gleaming quilt. I've been talking about this one for months now, it feels like, since July. This was the kit that came in the Liberty box from Fat Quarter Shop this year, and I've been trying to get it done, and I finally got the top all put together. So I've got my stars all sewn in there. And the pattern called for a 6-inch border, but I put in an order online to Fat Quarter Shop, and part of my order, I ended up with a free charm pack, and it turned out to be this same fabric, which I can't remember right off the top of my head, but it's the same fabric that came in the Liberty box. That was just this little charm pack, and I thought, oh, instead of buying an additional fabric for my border, I will just use those charm squares to make my border. So it's not quite a 6-inch border. I just used those 5-inch squares and I just sewed them all together in a random pattern. I did have to pull out some of my scraps from the stars and cut a few extra 5-inch squares, and I probably needed maybe 5 or 6 more, and I had plenty of scraps to do that with, so I had enough to go all the way around and make that border. Look at me, I did a good job and put that stay stitch all around the edge there, because so many seams again at the that meet right on the edge. So stay stitched it up, pressed all the seams open on this one, and it worked really well because a lot of star points kind of meet together in different spots. A lot of fabric coming together in those kind of joints. So pressed them all open. See, looks pretty good. The back looks pretty. Let me hold that up for you one more time. It's a very busy quilt, I'm going to say. Like, my eye is a little like, whoa, a lot of pattern going on. But when I, laid it out on the floor and walked away from it for a while and kind of came back and stood afar from it, I ended up liking it a lot more than after I had kind of just been staring at it up close on my sewing machine. So I think it turned out cute. It will be great next year. I'm about ready to put my red, white, and blue quilts away and get out some, brighter yellows and oranges quilts for the month of August and September. So we'll get this one quilted up and ready for next year to pull out for the summer. Yeah, but I'm really glad that that's done. I love it when I can finish those works in progress and move on to the next great quilt project. Okay, the next one I have to show you, I am so super excited about. And I was hoping to get this done several weeks ago, but a lot has been going on in our life. We have a most wonderful addition to our family. My daughter had a baby girl this last week, and so I was watching her other children, our 3 little grandsons, while she was having her baby girl. So we're really excited to welcome Birdie Joy into our family. She's a sweet blessing, and we're just really thrilled for our daughter and her husband and their and her brothers. They love her very, very much. So while that's all been going on, I'm trying to get my Scrappy sunflower quilt quilted, and I was able to do that and get that finished. I used Quilter's Dream 80/20 batting, and I decided that I wanted it to be quilted super dense. And I found what I think is the most perfect pantograph. So I'm going to show you this adorable quilt. I shared a picture of the quilt top before it was quilted on my Instagram, and I just think it's the cutest pattern, and it just makes me so happy. And I don't know if it's this time of year or what, but I am really excited to get this one bound and up on the wall so I can really enjoy it for the next couple months or month and a half or so. So look at this cute, let me move this chair. Look at this cute quilt. This is called Scrappy Sunflowers. It's a Lella Boutique pattern. And I just used all scraps from my stash. I dug around in my scrap bins, pulled out some yellows, some greens, and then I used a layer cake of Hush Hush 2 and some other low volumes in my stash for the background. And I pieced all those background pieces in random sizes and shapes, so it would be super scrappy. Okay, one more time, I'll hold it up for you as best I can. Here, so you can see. This quilt is 67 by 67. On the back, I found this really great print at my local quilt shop. It's got beehives and bees. And it does have a vertical seam on this one. That was the best use of my fabric. And with as busy as it is, I don't even know if you can even see where that seam is. It's somewhere. Huh. Yeah, look how good that looks. You can't even tell that vertical seam. The Pantograph, let me bring it in and show you. I think it's so perfect for this quilt. It's called Honeycomb Swirl. Okay, let me get it to the lighting just right. There we go. So it has these swirls and then the little tiny honeycomb shapes. And every so often it has these cute little loops that I think are supposed to represent little bees. Look at that, how cute. So they're little wings. Super dense. Those honeycombs are about 3/4 inch across. So it's really dense. This is a little bit stiffer with the 80/20 and that dense quilting, but not overly stiff. Like I would use this as a quilt, like on the couch or, or something. Although I did make it specifically to hang on the wall. Oh, I'm excited. I haven't picked my binding yet, but I will. I'm sure it'll be something yellow. Although I am open to whatever floats my boat when I go to pick. I'll just look in my drawers and see what I've got enough of. It won't take too much to bind it. I could even do a Scrappy binding. Oh, I think it's so wonderful. I don't know why this is just making me so happy right now. This will wash up so beautifully, I think, and kind of soften and crinkle. It does have some starch on it, so that's probably why it's also feeling a little bit more stiff than some of the other quilts that I've made recently. But I'm really, really happy with how this turned out. I'm thrilled about it, and I can't wait to get that one bound. So that's really, really exciting to me. So as I've been quilting and thinking about what I want to make next, as I finished up some of my works in progress, I remembered a quilt that I saw at QuiltCon in the spring, and it's one of those quilts that you just kind of, it stops you in your tracks and you're like, whoa. It was this quilt with teeny tiny stars. And I had texted my mom and sister who were with me at QuiltCon. And I was like, does anyone have a picture of that quilt? Do you remember it? And my mom had snapped a picture of this quilt that was hanging there at QuiltCon. And I don't remember what booth. I don't remember really. I can picture where it was on their inside the booth and everything. And anyway, my mom had a picture, and in her picture that she had snapped of it, it had the pattern name and all that. And so I went looking for the pattern, and it was in this book called Every Last Piece by Lynn Harris. It's very, it was kind of in a little bit of an expensive book, but there are 12 quilts in here that have the patterns, like 12 quilt patterns, the how to make them, but tons of like inspiration. I mean, look at that scrap quilt. There's so many fun ones. These gorgeous ones that she had made back in 4-H when she was a kid. Some string quilt. I think they're so fun to look at. So lots of inspiration, but in this book it has the pattern for, let me show you. This one's called Stardust, and there it is. So these teeny tiny stars. This quilt is quite large, 93 by 10. Oh no, that's the wrong size. Let's see. It's 87 by 99. So it is a big quilt, but that's a lot of little stars. And I decided that I really want to make this quilt. Let me show you the other one in here. It's similar. It's not the exact same. But there's this one. Isn't that cute? This one looks a little more wonky from the picture with the star points. It's a little bit smaller, but really cute. She says in the bottom here that this is, of all the quilts I've ever made, this one is perhaps my most favorite, which I can believe. I think it's so cute. But Ruby Star has put out their Selvage Magic fabric line, which I, of course, had to immediately order because I'm in love with it. So I ordered a whole, like, I don't know, 2 yards? Yeah, 2 yards of this fabric right here that has all the little symbols. Look at that. That's so happy. So I ordered this fabric. You can tell I've starched it. And I'm going to use these little symbols in the center of all my square or my stars that I'm going to make using the pattern in here. And I think that's what it was. The one at QuiltCon was also little ruby star symbols in the center of their stars. So I think I'm going to totally mimic that. And for the legs of all the stars, I'm just going to pull from my scraps. They're tiny, so I don't need much to do that with. It'll need a lot of background, and I'll pick a nice neutral or something, or maybe I'll do like, I don't know, baby pink or something. Might be kind of fun, or a baby blue. But I'm excited about this. I think it's going to take a long time as I work on it to make so many of those little stars. I think I'm going to have to just kind of keep a pile of things by the side of my sewing machine, and then when I feel like making, I don't know, 4 or 5 stars, maybe I'll stop and make some. That's a lot of teeny tiny little flying geese. So it should be a fun project. I've never done anything quite that little before. That's a little bit new to me, and so it might be something that makes me pull out my hair, but it also might be something that I find is quite fun, and I think the result will be super, super rewarding. So I'm looking forward to starting that. I've got some other like fat quarter bundles and things in the back closet that I've been saving and waiting for, a couple fall lines that I got last year. And so I'm kind of looking around to see what I want to make with those. It's that time of year when I want to start thinking about Halloween and fall quilts, and so we'll see what ends up, you know, coming to the forefront of my want list, because like I said, my queue for quilts I want to make is getting longer and longer. It always does. I can't make them fast enough, you know, so, but that's okay. Quilting is meant to be fun and enjoyable, and so we just do it at the speed we can and the speed that our life allows. Things crop up, we have grandbabies, and life slows down, life speeds up, things get crazy, and so we just use quilting to, for me it eases stress, and it's just a joyful creative process, and I love it so much. So I'm excited about just kind of this next little season of my life. And by season, I just mean literally, you know, the season, fall coming up. It's getting a little cooler in the mornings. It starts to feel like that back to school vibe, and that will be happening here where I live in about a week and a half or so. So that will be fun to get back into the routine of life. Okay, another fun thing I've been doing while the long arm has been running is working on organizing my scraps, because I let them pile up a little bit too much, I think, sometimes, and so I have to go through the basket that just sits under my cutting table and kind of divide them up by color and get them all sorted. So I've been kind of trying to make them all fit into my bin, so I thought I'd show you. Look how nice this looks. Look, here's my yellow and oranges. Ho, ho, ho. I am so proud of how tidy these scraps are. So they've been folded and arranged, so easy to sort through as I need them and want to. That one doesn't go in there. That's a white one. So look, it just looks so pretty. It makes, I don't know, it just makes me happy to see them all in their bins looking so nice. Normally the lids barely close. I did the yellow and oranges, and I've got my blues all done, but my box is full. So I've got to start making stuff with my scraps so that they don't get out of hand, because I don't want to have more scraps than what my bin can hold. They look, am I the only one that thinks organized fabrics like this, even if they're just scraps, it's just like a feel good? It just makes you feel good. It's pretty to look at, it's fun to touch, fun to look at, fun. So keep them in these bins on the shelf so you can see behind me. under the long arm there. They just stack up under there in these bins, easy to access, but they stay dust and lint free with their little bins. So those bins fit perfectly under there, and so that's pretty fun. So I've been working on that, and that's just a slow ongoing process. I'll do the greens and I'll do the pinks, and I have some low volumes and things like that. So anyway, that's pretty fun. But I think that's about all that's going on around here these days. Lots of happy things. I hope life is good for you and good things are happening in your life. And if not, I hope you are surrounded by lots of good people and friends and family that will show you love and support. As always, I just want to remind you about my website, which is ladyfoxstitches.com, and that's where you'll find information about my long arm quilting services. So if you're interested in that, check that website out. Give this video a like and subscribe, share it with your friends, and leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. So until next time, keep sewing and keep quilting, and we'll see you soon.